Good Wednesday afternoon, everybody. How's it going? Gotta make a little video on this. Well, I wasn't sure if I should make a video on this because at this point, for the most part, we're just kind of guesstimating here. But a lot of people are talking about this, and a lot of people want to know what I think about this. So, gotta give the people what they want, right? So, when the dust cleared on the final game of the season for the 2021 Seahawks, we officially, unequivocally knew every opponent that we were going to have in the 2022 season. Now, that doesn't mean we know a whole heck of a lot. We don't know the order of the games. We don't know the flow of the season. We don't know what players these teams are going to have. We don't know. But we do know the team names. That's about all we know. So, of course, when the Seahawks release their actual 2022 schedule, I will make videos about that. I will make some videos discussing how I think things will go given the flow of the season. Like, we got to figure out where the bye week is. We got to figure out who we're playing in prime time, Thursday night, Monday night, stuff like that. It's always important. But looking at just the opponents and the home road split, you can learn some stuff. So basically, just to run it down real quick, we've got a 3-3 home and away against our division rivals, of course. And then we have the Falcons and Panthers at home. Those are NFC South teams. We have the AFC West, Broncos and Raiders at home. And then you've got the New York 2-for-1, the Giants and the Jets. So that's the home games. And as for the 5 non-divisional road games, you've got the Saints and the Bucks. So those are the NFC South. You've got the other 2 AFC West teams, Chiefs and Chargers on the road. And then you've got the Detroit Lions. So unlike last year, when our extra game was a road game against a team that we expected to be pretty good, and they were, this year we're getting the extra game at home. And we're getting it against a team that doesn't quite project to be so good. Although maybe they're building a little something over there. We'll get to that in a second here. But that is your 2022 schedule as we know it so far. Now, the positives of this schedule are fairly clear. And looking at this home schedule, ignoring for a fact the second that the Seahawks have really not held their end of the bargain up at home lately. Like, this year was pathetic at home. The way we played at home all around was just kind of sad. It's like we took no pride in playing in front of the home fans anymore. Honestly, 2019 wasn't really very good at home either, I don't believe. I think we won every game but one on the road, and then we kicked butt on the road for some reason. And then we were like 500 at home, I think. So I don't know. Ignoring that for a second, this is a very nice slate of home games. And I'll say this. If we are good in 2022, if we find some way to be good, and I'm not even talking like best in the league, I'm talking like if we can be a top 8 team in 2022, we have a chance to run the table at home. Because the divisional games are the really tough games, right? Cardinals, Rams, 49ers, that's going to be a problem, no doubt about it. But if we can find a way to hold serve in our division at home, you've got the Falcons, who I believe are still married to Matt Ryan, so they can't really move off him because of the money. So they're kind of married to this mediocre former franchise quarterback who he's not bad yet, but he's getting there, and it's just slipping away from him as the years go by. And I know the Falcons had a decent season last year, but I don't necessarily have them pegged as a team that I think is going to take a big step forward in 2022. The Panthers, they're going to try the Matt Rule thing for one more year, which so far has been pretty bad. I don't see any reason to believe that they're going to suddenly turn it around. They're still stuck with Sam Darnold for the moment, and there's no reason to believe he's good. They are building something nice with that defense over in Carolina, but I see a low ceiling if Matt Rule and Sam Darnold are still involved. Now, the Broncos are interesting, but they need to find a real quarterback. And if Wilson is indeed not available, and if Rodgers ends up not being available, then it's possible that they end up stuck with this mediocre miasma of stopgap QBs. They could roll back with Bridgewater, roll back with Locke. They could try to draft somebody. They have some extra draft capital from the Von Miller trade, but they did move off from Fangio, which should help. But I could see the Broncos being a decent team in 2022, but unless they get a real quarterback, they're not going to be great. The Raiders, we got to see what they're going to do at the coaching spot. Got to see if they're going to stick with Carr or not. I know they're kind of not in love with him, but they did just make the playoffs. But I'm not seeing anything special with that Raiders team. And I expect the Giants to be a complete dumpster fire in 2022. They're wiping the slate clean. And the Jets, they're building something, but I don't know if it's their time yet. So this home slate is butter. Now, there's another side to that, and that is we have a relatively brutal slate of road games. You've got the 3 games in the division. All 3 of those games really have a chance to be tough. I don't think I need to explain why. I think we all understand that we are in a difficult division. I know that Kyler Murray might get paid this offseason, and that's going to hurt the Cardinals' ability to keep some of these players. But they still should be good unless they lose Kingsbury, and I don't think they will unless they really flame out in the playoffs. Rams are going to be the Rams. The Niners, they're going to have Trey Lance, and I think he's going to remove the ceiling that Garoppolo has been putting on that team this year. So that's a problem. You've got the Saints, and I have no idea what the Saints are going to be. They could be terrible. It could be their time. Like, they could lose Sean Payton. That's at least on the table. No idea what they're going to do at quarterback. They probably would have made the playoffs if they had Winston all year, but Winston's not very good. They could just decide to move off Jameis and restart, completely wipe it clean. They've got a lot of salary cap stuff to sift through. Eventually, that's going to come back and bite them. Maybe this is the year they just go, okay, mess me up. Screw me up, guys. Just let the salary cap hit me all at once like a tsunami, and we'll suck for a year. That's possible. But then you've got the Bucks. If they keep Brady in 2022, which it seems like they will, and they're able to maintain most of this team, I know that they, like, Gronkowski really might retire. I'm not seeing I'm not seeing the same drive to compete from Gronkowski over the last few games that I have seen from him before. They might lose that. They're obviously down AB. They could lose Chris Godwin too because he tore his ACL, but they should still be good. And flying 3,000 miles to play a game in Tampa Bay against a quarterback who knows how to dink and dunk you to death is disastrous for a Pete Carroll defense. I don't like that game at all. We go to Kansas City to play the Chiefs, and I mean, the Chiefs had a weird year this year. They actually won a lot of games with their defense more than their offense. Mahomes didn't have his greatest year. Still decent stats by the end of it, and overall I think he still played effectively. And odds are pretty good that they're going to lose some stuff this offseason because some of this money that they owe is going to come due. They might lose Frank Clark, not that he's really doing that much for them anyway. It's going to be hard to keep all these pieces on the defense together because they're paying their offensive players so much. But as long as Andy Reid's there, they're going to be a problem. Not really loving my chances in Kansas City. Then you've got the Chargers. Last year of Herbert's rookie deal before he can ask for an extension. They're probably going to go balls to the wall to try to compete for a Super Bowl in 2022, especially after missing the playoffs by a hair. So I expect the Chargers to be really good, or at least they should sell out to be really good. So that's not going to be fun. And then the Lions, they're probably going to be the Lions. So, okay, that's nice. But yeah, that's basically the way I see it right now. And we've got to see what teams do this offseason. Being in the NFC West is a problem in and of itself, right? Like, by default, you're going to have a hard time. All the teams in this division are just putting everything on the line to try to win now. I don't see any team in 2022 in the NFC West going, you know what, we're going to take it easy this year, unless it's the Seahawks. The Seahawks could decide, you know what, let's blow it up, take a year off, and then in 2023, that's the year, because Stafford might be washed. The Cardinals will have had to pay Murray or lose him. And I mean, if Shanahan misses the playoffs next year, he really might get canned because the Niners are not in love with him right now. But if we don't do that, every team in this division should be just going all out to make a run at things, and that makes things hard. But overall, it's not bad. The main problem I see are these three road games. It almost feels like you can pencil in a few losses right here, right now. Tampa, Kansas City, and San Diego, and excuse me, L.A. Chargers. So that's a problem. But I'm seeing a pretty soft set of games at home. 9 home games. If we are good next year by hook or by crook, we could win all 9 of these games, and I wouldn't be that surprised. Like the Seahawks, if they are good next year, if they have a good offseason and don't blow things up, are probably going to be favored in every home game in 2022. Not that means they're guaranteed to win them all, but that means something. And even the road slate, like the Saints and the Lions, I don't know. Those two teams could bottom out. Maybe not the Lions because they've already bottomed out, but I don't think they're going to be good. So I don't think this schedule's too bad. The division part is, as always, going to be the hard part. We've had years where the NFC West was atrocious, and we were able to just kind of farm 5 to 6 easy wins a year. Not happening no more. Not happening no more. Now it's the opposite. Now it's like we got to hope to go 3-3 in the division and hopefully farm against everyone else. And looking at this schedule, it seems possible, but we got a lot to learn before we make any massive proclamations about that. So I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Go Hawks. Let me know what you think down below.